Hi Year 2, welcome back to day 2 of Toto and the Ninja Cat. Now I'd like you to find the full title of the text, so you might want to pause me whilst you have a look at the book cover to find the title. The title is Toto the Ninja Cat and the Great Snake Escape. Here we have the full title of the book. My next question for you is, what type of text is this? As you know, we have fiction texts and non-fiction texts when we're doing our reading comprehension. What type of text is Toto the Ninja Cat? It is a fiction text. What makes it a fiction text? Well, it's a make-believe story. It's written up, it's not based on a real event, although how fun would it be if it was? Okay, let's begin by reviewing our 5 new vocabulary words that we learnt on Thursday. What are these the definitions for? I'd like you to pause the video and join them up together. You can do this just by looking at the screen, joining the correct term with its definition. Pause me now. Right, let's go through them together. Disturbed is to be interrupted. Society is when we have a group of people who are usually living in the same place. So we could have our society of Brent, we could have our society of London, of the UK, of the world even. The next one is stray. A stray is something which is when you're not in the right place. When we mutter, that's when we say something quietly. And when lavish is to be very fancy and grand. And we had those pictures of those beautiful lavish cakes, and you might want to describe other things as lavish. Okay, let's play, jump in and read the text. Remember our 5 new words.
Toto was having the dream of her, featuring an enormous pepperoni pizza, a bucket of pasta, and to finish her furry buried in a tiramisu, when she found herself rudely transported back to a London crash, bang, and while we're at it, wallop. Doesn't even close the terrible that disturbed the silence on the otherwise sleepy. It was the kind of night where you and would be up in with an extra and a hot water bottle, the kind of night where no one in their mind would get out of until the winter sun rises and makes it just okay to face the new. And that's just for us. Forget about. No cat would be seen dead getting out of a bed when it was this. They'd never be able to show their faces in polite cat society again. Best leave it to the foxes and the. Most cats would say, let's get some shut eye, and I'll see you sometime about, let's say 11ish, which is why Toto was tired and just a little bit when she heard the almightiest din coming from the outside. Toto looked at her parents. They'll sort this. Won't sheath. They hadn't moved a muscle. They even stirring. Honestly, Toto muttered to herself, who? The cats and are the humans. We're supposed to be the who sleep all the time and supposed to be the ones who get us pet, lavish, with attention, groom, open doors for, turn on taps for, to drink water, massage our, and most importantly, get up when there are scary noises. It's a fair, but to recap, are supposed to be the. She looked over at her. Silver, who, as his name, had, and white, with a big tail and paws. Toto, on the other hand, was a big ball of black, grey and brown fur, especially with her winter coat on. Had a around her neck, which made her look like a. That wouldn't be out of place in Elizabethan England, as opposed to where she was from, a place called Puglia in the heel of. She and Silver were stray cats, and they had arrived in London only weeks ago, after they were rescued by two humans, who they now called Dad, or as Toto would say, and the ones who currently lay snoring in their. Silver, whispered Toto. Did you? That? I think it came from outside, from the bins, our bins.
Okay, so now we're going to be looking at literal questions and answers at our text. We're going to follow these steps of success, and here is an example. So, how was Toto transported back to the cold London night? That's me reading the question. Next, I want to underline the key words, and we might want to be underlining the key words both in the question and also in the text when we find our evidence, which will be our third step. But let's underline the key words in the question. How was Toto transported back to the cold London night? Okay, now I need to find the evidence. Now, in your on your task sheets, it will tell you whether your answer is going to be in paragraph 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8. This is in paragraph 1. So I know I can look, and my answer will be in this area here. Toto was having the best dream of her life, featuring an enormous pepperoni pizza, a bucket of cheesy pasta, and to finish, her fairy face buried in a massive tiramisu, when she found herself rudely transported, there's a key word, back to the cold London night. That's also in my question. My question's asking me how Toto was transported, and I know this is all talking about Toto. She was rudely transported. That is how it's the description, the adjective before the verb of how she was transported. So reread the question. Have I answered it? How was Toto transported? She was rudely transported. So I'm going to answer this in a full sentence and say Toto was rudely transported back to a cold London night. Full stop. Really important to be answering in full sentences if I can. Fantastic. Now it's your turn to have a go at some literal questions and answers. Remember to follow these steps to success as you go. Good luck, and we can't wait to see your answers on Seesaw.